I'm Autumn. I work at Jefferson and World Forest, and I'm here today to talk about birds. So birds are a really exciting topic for May because it is one of the best times to see birds. Right now birds are nesting, so there's a lot of activity going on there. They're also migrating. They're either migrating to Kentucky to stay for the summertime, or they're migrating through Kentucky, so they might just see them for like a couple weeks, which is also really exciting. So I think that birding is one of the best activities, especially right now when you can't really do a lot more, and you can do it anywhere. You can just do it in your backyard, and it's a great activity for families because they can look and see that all this variety of birds they have just right outside their window. May is also really exciting because tomorrow, May 9th, Saturday, will be Global Big Day. This is actually an annual celebration of birds. So everyone around the world will go out, grab binoculars or whatever, they'll look for all the birds and get as many bird sightings as they can see in one day. And this is really cool because all of this information actually goes to a database called eBird. And then scientists can look at that information and use it to preserve, conserve, and support the birds out there, especially the ones that are vulnerable, and their habitats that they need to survive. So you can have a lot of fun here, and you can also contribute to science. Let's jump right in. Alright, so in order to do this, in order to look for birds, sometimes you have to figure out what birds are what. So this is just a basic identification. And there are some 4 basic identification tools that you can use in order to figure out what kind of bird you're looking at. First one, well, hopefully you can see it, so then you're going to look at their appearance. So their colors, their designs, even the size of them and the shape of them is really important as well. So we're just going to look at that, okay? We've also got what they're doing, their behavior. That's also really important. Certain birds tend to have certain types of behavior. So if you see them climbing up the tree, you might be seeing like a nuthatch or a woodpecker. If you're seeing them on the ground, you might be seeing a robin. You might see those a lot. If they're soaring up ahead, that's a different kind of behavior. It might indicate a vulture or a hawk. So that kind of thing. We're also going to look at their location or their habitat. That's number 3. So their habitat, if they're near water, if they're in the forest, out in open field. And number 4, a little more challenging, but sometimes you can't actually see the bird and you just hear them. That can be really important too, and a lot of birders will get really accustomed to hearing different bird songs and figuring out which bird is singing which kind of song. Now that you know the 4 basic steps to identifying a bird, let's actually take a look at some of the birds that you might see in your local area. Alright, so I see a cool bird that's up in this tree right now. Might be a really good one to look at. I'm going to take a look. And it looked like it's a downy woodpecker. So we're going to go through those 4 steps to identify it correctly. Alright, so I'm looking at it, we're seeing the black and white is the main color. The males will actually look a little different than the females. So the males will have a little bit of red spot on their neck. The females will be missing that. So you can see there which sex it is. We're also going to look at number 2, their behavior. So woodpeckers will kind of go up a tree usually and be on the side of it, ready to peck at that tree to get underneath the bark and get those bugs. They'll also have a very unique flight pattern, and they'll also be, you might actually see them pecking at the tree. So there's their behavior. You can kind of see they're already on the side there. They'll also go into bird feeders as well. And then we have number 3, their location or their habitat. They tend to like forests. They'll also be in urban areas, so they might be kind of on the edge. And like I said, they might go to bird feeders. Alright, then number 2 is their bird song. So, they have a pretty distinct, I'm going to go ahead and play it as you look at it. Kind of a sharp call. And their song kind of goes down. You can hear the pitch go down. And then that's them just tapping on the tree. So Alright, there's our first things for downy woodpecker. Alright, let's see if we can find another one. I'm spotting some yellow in a tree over there. This one's actually a pretty popular one right now. You might actually notice him a little more because the males are very bright right now. So good color indicator. That bright yellow indicates that it might be a goldfinch. So they look yellow kind of all year round, but really, really bright yellow during the summer when they're actually mating. The males will look a little more bright yellow. They'll have that nice black wing bar that you can tell and some black on the face. The females will also look yellowish, not near as bright though, and not near as black either. Okay, so that's their color. Number two, their behavior. They have a nice song as they fly, so you can kind of hear that as well. They're pretty small and they float around a little bit. They enjoy going to certain bird feeders. Like thistle feeders, so you'll see them a lot there. They'll often be in pairs or in big groups as well. Let's see, that's number two. Number three, location. They like urban areas as well as like forest edges and bird feeders as well, like I said. And number four, we have their bird song, which we're going to listen to. Alright, so we'll listen to the goldfinch's song. One more time. Alright, so there's the goldfinch. Spotted one, it's not quite as brightly colored as the goldfinch. It's actually down on the ground right now. So this is a brown-headed Calvert. Number one, we'll look at their appearance. So overall, not very striking, just seems kind of dark. If you look a little bit closer, you can see fairly like black on the body, but very distinct brown head. So there we go, brown-headed Calvert, pretty simple. Talking about number two, their behavior. Sometimes they'll be on the ground pecking and looking for things there. They could also be up in the trees as well, so you can kind of see them in kind of a mixture of areas. Number three, we'll look at their location or their habitat. They tend to like the forest edge, and they'll definitely be found in urban areas as well. They're also a summer resident, so keep that in mind as well. You might not see them in the wintertime so much. Alright, and then number four, their song. So we'll listen to theirs. I always like to think that it sounds kind of gurgly or like bubbly, so this might be good. Kind of has a little weird bubbly sound to it. Alright, so there's a brown-headed Calvert. Alright, found another one, a very common one to see. We've got, let's see, Tufted Tipmouse. So this one is gray, kind of like a slate gray on the back. You can kind of tell that. It does actually have a little bit of a tuft. Sometimes it's not quite sticking up all the way, but sometimes you can tell that it's got that gray tuft right there too. So those are two really good indicators there. So that's their appearance. Number two, behavior. So this one you can even kind of see with other birds. They hang around with chickadees a lot. They hang around at bird feeders a lot as well. So they're common. Number three, we'll look at their location or habitat. They'll be around urban areas and on forest edge as well. So you definitely see them if you're bird feeders, like I said. And then number four, we'll look at their bird song. This one I like. You may have heard it before. It kind of sounds like he's saying Peter over and over. Alright, so there's the Tufted Tipmouse. I hope that this really helps you all to get into some backyard birding. especially with your family. It's a really fun activity and great time to do it, so try it out. If you want to get more involved and you want to participate in the global big day tomorrow, I'll provide these links. We'll look at the eBird app or website, so there's a link there. That will actually help you to record the birds that you see. You also don't really need a physical field guide, so don't worry about that. You can even there's free guides out there for you. Louisville Parks and Recreation, we have a Feeder Birds of Kentucky guide. There are several free bird guide apps, and those are listed as well. Merlin Bird ID and the Audubon Bird Guide. There's also some good websites out there, the allaboutbirds.org and the audubon.org. Remember that Jefferson and Morrill Forest, the trails are still open, so come hike with your family, go birding, just maintain a safe distance and be safe while you're hiking. So have fun this weekend and happy birding!